You said plan on the paper. Is there
Yes.
anything you want to say about planning on the paper?
It's easier to erase the mistakes. If you want a successful garden, you have to plan for success. Just follow somebody like Eliot Coleman or Mel Bartholomew, and the first edition book is better than his latest edition book. I divide all my crops by families. Cabbage family, beans and peas, tomatoes, potatoes, cucumbers and corn, dried beans, carrots and beets, and the onion family, garlic and onion. Basically a 7-year crop rotation. It's all done in pencil. And as you can see, I have erased. This year it's many, 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 many crop changes. So it's 7 years. I have 7-year crop rotation, 6 rows this year instead of 8. I modified things a little bit wise. So this is how it starts, and then it evolves to my gardens. I have every row in the garden has a number. This is garden A, and the first row is row number 1. So then I start with what am I going to plant. So here, ESP means early spinach. And then a bean with a Y means a yellow bean. So I go down and I take this and put it where it's supposed to go in the garden plan. And then I have these funny little codes. H means an herb, so I intercrop with an herb. And here I intercrop the tomatoes with the basil. I intercrop with H, summer savory. And then there's these I, that means insectary flowers. So then I add the flowers after. So I put the basic crop in first and then decide where everything else will go. And see, I added a whole row of sunflowers and bee blend flowers. I always do that with my squash because they have a lot of bugs. The greenhouses, I put them all in one and I rotate and then I switch things around. And see, with the greenhouse, I have the fall and winter crops plus the summer crops because what I grow in the summer is very different than the winter. I start seeding peas. Well, the ones that were planted the 15th of April are harvested by June because I plant the short season peas, which is 52 days. So that's about a month and a half. So by the time I harvest them, I can pull out the peas and replant. I don't do pea after pea because that's not a good crop rotation. So I'll do pea, bean, pea. So then I can do 3 crops because peas can handle more cold than beans. Before I plant the early beans, I'll usually do a quick crop of spinach before. I'm going to do spinach and then a bean, arugula and then a bean, and lettuce and then a bean. So by switching around the crops within the rotation, sometimes you can get an extra crop. If you start with what you want to eat and make your list, and then you start filling the holes. I try to fill in the longer season part of the crops first, and then I pop in lettuce, spinach, arugula, pak choi. Those things are shorter season because they don't take as long to grow in the field because you're starting with the transplants. The days to harvest is what's on the seed packages. So for example, a lot of the beans are 60 days. Peas are around 52 to 58, the varieties I grow anyways. You know how long it's going to take before the crop is harvested. You know what? There's great cheat sheets in books like this. Eliot Coleman. They have these beautiful charts. West Coast Seeds, in their catalog, it's on their website. Jonny Select has something similar. They have the little dots. That's when the plant is growing as a transplant. And then the lines is a plant that when you put it in the field, and see how you grow it under cover. That means in a greenhouse. And then you plant it in the field. So these charts are very, very good. BC is very close to this climate. What happens at Jonny Seeds in Maine can work here. Eliot Coleman was from Maine, so what works for Eliot Coleman works here.